So you want to build a SaaS but have no money and no idea how to code. Well, I'm going to show you step by step how someone like myself who has no idea how to code, I have never coded a single line of code in my life, how people like me and you, again, who don't know how to code, or even if you're a developer but just don't want to code, how we can go about building a software business, in specific a SaaS, by partnering up with a developer. So I'm going to show you two things. One, why you'd want to partner up with a developer and why you'd want to let them do that work. And two, where you can find that person and what to look for in that person. And so with that said, let's just jump straight into my computer so I can show you step by step how to do all that. Let's go. Hey, what's up? So one of you guys asked for, I'm just going to read it out, right? I was drawn to the idea of starting a SaaS without being technical, so without knowing how to code. And I was wondering if you can create some videos around that. So how to find a CTO, how to vet the CTO, etc. So CTO stands for Chief Technical Officer, so basically the guy who codes in the startup, okay? There's CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, there's CEO, whatever, right? CTO is the guy who codes. And me, myself, as you guys know, or as you probably know, I have no idea how to code. I know the basics, but my time is best spent at doing the other part of the business, because essentially you have two parts, the technical side, right, and the marketing side. And you cannot live, and the business cannot succeed without these two functioning, because if you're just focusing on the technical side, you have a great product, but nobody knows about it. So you're not going to make any money. If you just focus on the marketing side, yeah, you can make some sales, but at the end of the day, you won't grow very much because people will just go to a shitty product. Okay, so you need both, right? But if you're like me, right, you have no idea how to code, you don't want to learn, because I mean, I could learn, you could learn, but again, your time is best spent at, okay, let me just not outsource, but let me just have someone else do this, and I'll focus 100% of my time on this. This is how you grow businesses. You hire people and you partner with people. And I have a video on this, how I should partner over hiring. I think you should always partner. That's how you grow, okay? So the very first thing, in my opinion, is you gotta find someone that you identify with as a person, in a personal level. So I'll give you my example, right? My co-founder and now CTO is now a buddy of mine, right? We didn't know each other before, but I wanted to make sure that I could find someone, and you need to use this rule, who's a friend of a friend. Use the friend of a friend rule. Don't go hiring someone in Eastern Europe, Asia, even the US, right? I mean, I'm from Europe, right? Don't go hire, and not because of the country, but because they're so far away. And there's multiple layers to this, right? The very first thing is hire a friend of a friend, right? Let's say, for example, this is me, right? Actually, this is you right here, right? And you know, right, a buddy of yours, right? This is your buddy, right? This is your buddy. This is you. And this buddy of yours knows a lot of people, right? And one of those people is a guy that knows how to code, so a potential CTO, right? You always want to go for the friend of the friend, right? You don't want to go for anyone a person that you have no idea who it is, right? That you found by yourself, by wiggling around and going through Upwork, other marketplaces, right? You don't want to go that way, right? Because this is going to be a trouble, right? You want to go to a friend of a friend because, as silly it may seem, right, this is a recommendation, right? And even though maybe your friend doesn't know it very well, or him or her very well, right, it is still a recommendation, right? It is still someone you can trust, and this guy knows your friend recommended him to you, so there's sort of a nuance and a sensation of respect. This is very nuanced, maybe a bit out there, right? But this is what I find works, right? Finding a friend of a friend. Don't go 3 levels down, right? You could just go 2, right? That's the very first thing, the friend of a friend rule. And you're going to say, but I don't know anyone. I mean, you should be knowing at least one person, right? Because you should have at least one friend and they can know a lot of people. So don't, if in the case you don't, well, I'll give you another option, but you should always go first with this. Go through the friend of a friend rule, right? The second thing is that you gotta make sure they speak the same language as you, right? They have somewhat the same culture, because you're gonna be working with this guy or girl forever, ideally, right? You're gonna be working with them 70 hours a day, 70 hours a week, right? You're going to be essentially married with them, right? It is a relationship, almost a married couple, right? You're going to spend a lot of time with them, You're going to be married with them. So you got to make sure you're compatible, right? Because there's going to be discussions, there's going to be trouble between you guys, and you both have to be on the same wavelength, both in terms of language, because it's easier to communicate, but also culture, right? Me, again, my co-founder is Portuguese, so we grew up in the same country, right? We more or less have the same mindset, whether that's good or bad, in terms of maybe the American mindset is a bit more snappy, more grow, right? Maybe if I had an American co-founder, we'd have more issues because his mindset is also, all the mindsets are good. The issue is with the discrepancy of mindsets. And again, this sounds a bit way out there, but trust me, it does make sense, right? So go with someone from your own country, ideally, or that has lived in your country, that has the same ideals as you, okay? Because this goes a long way, because again, there's going to be trouble, right? And you're going to be essentially married with them, right? You're going to be married with these people, with this guy or a girl, right? So choose someone as compatible as possible with you. And the way to increase the compatibility levels is to hire someone or partner with someone that, one, speaks your own language, and two, has more or less the same culture as you. And the culture thing comes from living in your own country or somewhat close by, okay? That's the couple of first things here. Again, friend of a friend, and these two things, speak the same language and have the same culture. This goes a long way. So don't go to Upwork to hire someone. I mean, I have videos on this, on how to find developers on Upwork and all that, but that's for just sporadic things. And we found some on Upwork. And when you go to Upwork, right, because we did find a very, very senior developer on Upwork. He wasn't the co-founder. He was just like working on the code, but he was Portuguese. We made sure he was Portuguese. I am Portuguese, by the way. We made sure he was Portuguese. He lived in Portugal, right? Because then again, you have the same time zone. And all these little things do add up. Language barriers add up. Cultural levels add up. Time zones add up, right? So you got to make sure that you increase the compatibility levels. Otherwise, this relationship will break and it's going to be a bad time, okay? Now, how did I find this guy right here? So very first thing, right? When you want to hire or partner with a CTO, right? This guy, ideally, you're going to give him 50% of the company. So he needs to be hungry. He needs to want it as much as you do. And the way you find someone like this, right? I'll give you the pattern of what someone like this is not, right? Now, first things first, for CTO, you want someone who's very, very good. The better they are, the better it is for you, the better it is for them, the better it is for the business. And the thing is that very, very good people, very, very good CTOs, they are most likely already working and most likely are already senior people. So 30 years of age plus, right? Now, these guys already are in companies, right? They're working a full-time job, right? And so they have a very safe job. They get paid well. They have a family most likely because they're 30 plus. So family, well-paid job, right? Stability in their life. Maybe they have kids, okay? So it's hard, very, very hard to convince this guy to, okay, listen, I know you have a stable job, I know you have all this stuff, but I have this amazing idea that's going to make us a shit ton of money, right? But you're going to get paid zero to join my idea because, I mean, it is a startup, we don't have any money yet. You're going to get paid zero, but you're going to have 50%. So that's almost impossible, right, to do that, unless they're very passionate about your thing. But it's hard to make someone as passionate as you about your idea, okay? Especially if they're this type of person. Now, it's not impossible. It is possible, right? But it is very hard, okay? And they'll never be working as hard as you because, I mean, they have other things to worry about. Again, I'm not saying that, like, you cannot start a SaaS if you have a family. You can, right? But it's always harder. And so, me, I don't have a family, right? I have just a girlfriend. I don't have a regular job, so I don't have all this responsibility. So I found someone in the same stage of life as me. No girlfriend, no job, or sort of a job, right? Freedom, right? If I had a job, a wife, kids, if I wanted stability, I would find someone like me, right? So try to find someone like you. This goes back to the compatibility. I would never go and partner, I don't want to say never, but in most cases, I would never go and partner me, like, let's say I'm a high school kid, I would never go and partner with a 30-year-old with a family. First thing, I would look for other high school kids I could partner with. Again, this goes into the compatibility box. You gotta make sure that the compatibility is very, very high, right? So again, it's very hard, it is possible. So what do you do? Well, how do you find hungry people? What you do is you go to university Facebook groups. This is how I started. University, right? Why? Because university kids, they have a lot of time on their hands. That's the very first thing. They have a lot of time on their hands. This is reality, right? They don't have families. They don't have regular jobs. They just study, right? Go to university Facebooks for tech people, right? There's I won't name out the courses, but here in Portugal, I have like a ton of courses for developing, programming. In your country, you surely have all of yours, right? So go to these Facebook groups and go to the ones that have technical people in there. Developing courses, I don't know how you call them in your country, right? But surely you have a bunch of them, right? And make posts on those groups. And don't just make a post and just forget about it. You gotta be persistent, right? One post isn't gonna cut it. Do one post, then message everyone that liked the post, right? Speak with them, shoot the shit, have calls with them, right? Make another post a week later. Keep on making posts, because just one post is not gonna be enough, right? You gotta be hungry for this. You gotta be hungry to find the people as hungry as you. You cannot expect they come to you, okay? So Facebook groups are university Facebook, are a great way to find hungry technical people, okay? Again, nothing wrong, right? Going on LinkedIn maybe, or going on with a friend of a friend that finds you a 30-plus-year-old, but there's all this baggage that comes with it. Again, not a bad baggage. I'm just saying that if you do not have this baggage, so if you're not a 30-plus-year-old with a family and kids, right, don't go for someone like this, right? If you are in this situation, go for someone like this. If you're not, which I wasn't, I went for someone like this, a kid, essentially, right? I was in uni still. Again, don't take this the wrong way. You can still do this, right? Just hopefully I'm getting my point across. Find someone in the same stage of life as you, okay? This isn't better than this. This isn't better than this. It's different things, okay? I just want to make sure that you make sure that you're compatible, okay? Now again, uni Facebook groups are a great way to find young people that are hungry, okay? Very, very good place, because they're eager to get to the job market. They're eager to build something. They have time. So the best thing I can tell you is the easiest thing is uni Facebook groups, right? And I could stop the video here. Now, you can do LinkedIn as well. You can do Upwork. You can do all these job marketplaces. But make sure that if you go through these job marketplaces, Upwork, I don't say Fiverr, but Upwork, TopTal, LinkedIn, right? Make sure that the person you're hiring lives in your country. They have to live in your country. They have to speak your language, because you're going to want to meet with them face to face. Again, you're building a relationship. You're going to be married with these people, man or woman or whatever, right? You're going to be married with them. So you need to create a relationship with them. Go out to lunch, go out to dinner, grab a coffee, right? You don't have to, of course, you're not dating them, right? But you need to build this rapport, this trust, both ways, right? You with them and them with you. They need to know, like, and trust you. Again, you're going to get married, essentially, right? So if you've exhausted the friend of a friend thing that I explained before, right? If you exhausted the uni group, because university groups, usually people are in your area, I guess, or maybe not, right? But if you've exhausted this one and this one, if you're going to go for Upwork or TopTal, first you're going to pay way more unless you can bring them off platform, and there's fees to that, I think, and Upwork doesn't allow you to do that, for example. But if you go out these platforms, make sure you can take them off platform, right? Because you don't need the platform, right? You're building a business with this person 50-50, right? You're not going to be hiring them through a platform, right? You're going to be explaining to them the idea you have, which is 50-50, right? And get them off platform. By the way, right, you should not just say, hey, listen, go to Upwork or university Facebook groups or from their friends saying, hey, listen, I have this amazing idea, right? Want to build it all for me for free and I'll give you 50%. No sane developer will accept that, right? What I did was, in my first ever business, I say, hey, listen, I found a friend of a friend. I say, hey, listen, I have this idea. I'll pay you X amount. Actually, I said, I have this idea. How much do you want to build this out? He said the number, and we started our relationship with him as a contractor, right? Then what happened is, of course, at the end, when the product was built, he said, hey, listen, you paid me already. Please pay me a salary so I can keep on developing the product, right? And I paid him a salary, but then developers are hungry people. They want to build more stuff. So eventually he said, hey, listen, if you don't pay me more, I'll just go and build my own thing. So what I did is I gave him 5% equity, right? And he stayed on for a little while, okay? Eventually he left and I sold the company. This is my past software company. Now on this new one, we are 50-50, the same guy that I met. Again, he started as a contractor, but now work partners 50-50, right? And he has no incentive to leave, right? We're married, right? 50-50. Both of us have incentive to grow the business, okay? So I'm telling you this example because yes, you can start off with him as a contractor, because the reason why I'm saying this is because if you go out to these people, this developer saying, hey, listen, I have this amazing idea, come build it for me and I'll give you 50%. Most of them will say no unless you have a proper distribution channel. You as the marketer have a proper distribution channel, have a proper marketing strategy already in place that you can build, right, while they're building the software, right? If you can explain to them, okay, listen, while you're building out the software and have 50%, I'll also be building out the marketing strategy and getting people in to pay a pre-order, right? And I have videos on this, how to make sales before building. Ideally, you'd even go to the developer after you have a bunch of pre-sales, right? Which again, we have a video on this. Sell before you build, okay? We have a video showing on this, right? Ideally, you'd go to the developer with already some sales and email lists in mind to say, hey, listen, I have all these people interested, they already paid X amount, and I just need someone to help me build this, right? This is a way more nicer approach for a developer, and most likely you're gonna have them say yes most of the times than if you just go with nothing, okay? Now, if you don't have nothing to offer just yet, which you should sell before you build, go with this, right? Hire them as a contractor, and eventually what's gonna happen is that when the product is done, they're gonna wanna go away, give them equity, and get the 50%. Hopefully this made sense, guys. Let me know if this was helpful. If you want me to like pin down and double down on any of these like little subjects, let me know. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to help. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Sure. So I was editing this and I forgot to tell you, like, how do you vet the CTO, sorry. That's hard because you are not a technical co-founder. So how do you vet someone on their technical abilities? So is it very hard, if not impossible, for you and me, like as a non-technical co-founder? How did I vet the CTO, right? How did I vet the guy I was hiring? Well, you can't. In reality, you can't. I could give you like a bunch of like lame answers, but you just can't, right? You just got to go for it. You got to risk it, right? And you'll see like by how people how they conduct themselves, how they speak, their mannerisms, how they act, like you'll soon find out if this person you're partnering up with is actually someone who can do the job. Now, of course, you might think, oh, but I signed the 50% contract and now they're shit. They have no idea what they're doing. Well, don't sign the contract. Don't like create the actual entity of the company without having something, okay? Just do a gentleman's agreement, right? And then only like create the company, only sign the agreement when the thing is actually running, right? Because again, it's not as if you're doing business with an unknown person, right? You're gonna know, you're gonna like and trust this person. And that's why the thing of the friend of a friend comes in. That's why the person in the same life bracket as you comes in. That's why speaking the same language, same culture, all this comes in because you're gonna be partnering up with someone you trust, okay? And so when it comes to vetting, you cannot really do it because you're not a technical co-founder. But again, you will find out, right? You just like they will find out if you're capable of doing what you promised, like you're a hand at that, because you're doing 50% of the work, right? They're doing the rest, right? Or however you want to split it, right? They'll soon find out if you can do it. And developers, at least the ones I work with and my co-founder, they tend to be ambitious. And so, for example, when they build a new feature, or when they build something new, right? They expect, okay, now you're gonna get me users to use this, right? So you're gonna always have to be pushing your end of the stick. I know this is maybe not what you want to hear, but again, it's very hard to vet someone on their abilities if you yourself don't know how to do their own job. So it's hard to do. I don't think there's something you should be worrying about. I think it's much more important to worry about who you're going after than how talented they are. Because by default, right, if you're going on Upwork and looking for these people, like you can set the filter. I can make a video on the filters if you guys want, but then again, I don't recommend Upwork. But again, if you're going on Upwork, the people that already are there are on TopTal, they are somewhat talented. If you're going on university Facebook groups, the people in the Facebook group for the university of a certain technical course, they've been studying this for a long time. They know what they're doing, and they're capable of learning even more. So it's much more important who you find and where than if they're talented or not, okay? So that's basically it. Cheers.